Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Danielle Vassalotti, and I am a public health educator with the Immunization Branch of the State Department of Health. I will be moderating today's webinar, which is a part of an ongoing series of presentations called Ask the Local Immunization Expert. Today's topic is digital data loggers, benefits, setup, readings, and reports. Before I introduce the presenters, I would like to go over some housekeeping items. If you need technical assistance during today's webinar, you may either call the WebEx Technical Support Line at 1-866-863-3905 or type your technical issue into the WebEx chat feature at the bottom of your navigation bar. If you submit your technical questions via chat, please set your chat to send to everyone so that our technical support staff may assist you. There will be a question and answer session after each presentation. At that time, you may ask a question by typing it into the WebEx chat box at the bottom of your navigation bar. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on the DOH Immunization Branch website within the next few weeks. Now I would like to introduce our presenters. Noel Jose and Justin Lamb are both registered nurses with the Immunization Branch. Many of you know Justin and Noel because they are field reviewers with the Hawaii Vaccines for Children program. Unfortunately, Noel will not be able to join us today, so Justin will be providing you with information on the rollout of the new digital data loggers for the Hawaii VFC program. Patrick McGrath will be our second presenter, and he is the General Manager with Berlinger USA LLC. Today, Patrick will describe the Berlinger FridgeTag 2 digital data loggers, the benefits of using this equipment. Justin, when you are ready, please begin the first presentation.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. So I'm going to be presenting the VFC data logger rollout. Yeah, and like Danielle says, unfortunately, Noel can't be here today, although I know you guys all love his stories. But I'm going to be flying solo today and talk about the rollout and some of the other aspects of how we're going to get these to you and setting them up and whatnot. Patrick's going to go over the technical aspects of the data logger and how to troubleshoot and that kind of thing. So this is a picture of our new data logger that we're going to be rolling out to everybody. And we've already set some of them up on our site visits so far this year, Noel and I. We've been getting good reviews back so far as far as ease of use in comparison to the old digital thermometers that we gave everybody in 2013 and 14. So today I'm going to be going over the importance of data loggers, our distribution plan for VFC, and I'm going to be giving you guys the support after install that we're going to be offering you guys. So some of the importance and the benefits of data loggers. The most important one is obviously the continuous monitoring. So it's above and beyond what was happening before of the monitoring only twice a day, just to do you guys' temperature logs. So we'll do monitoring even when you guys aren't there, including weekends and when you guys are closed. It can store temperatures for up to 30 days, and Rick's going to go more into that when he gets into the technical aspects of it. It'll better maintain your cold chain. So as you know, there's a cold chain from when vaccines are manufactured to when they're administered, and each part along the line is a link in the cold chain. So you providers are actually the last link in the cold chain. And we want you guys to be the strongest link, so this is a very important tool for you guys. It's currently a CDC recommendation that all providers are using data loggers as best practice, but it's a requirement if it's issued from the Department of Health. And over the past few years, we've been issuing you guys thermometers, so this is just the next line in a series of thermometers that we've given you guys. Another important thing is that you can print out a PDF. So it's easier to report excursions to us and it's a lot more accurate, the reporting too. So instead of going from when the last time you took a temperature was, we can get down to the actual minute as to how far the excursion will range. All right, as far as our distribution plan, the data loggers will be provided to the VFC providers during the 2015 and 2016 compliance site visits. So if you receive an unannounced visit or a follow-up visit from us, we will not be setting them up at that time. But it's just going to be on your planned year of receiving a compliance visit. So everybody so far this year who's received a compliance site visit from us has received these data loggers as well. We'll be setting them up for you during our site visit. So after we go through our toolkit and the questionnaire from the CDC, we'll go through the data loggers with you, and we'll set them up and install them in your units. And so we'll be giving you guys additional training, and then there's also little handouts that we give as well. And then, of course, a hands-on portion too, where we let you guys select the different alarm readings and whatnot. And then we'll also plug it into your computer and verify that you can, in fact, get a PDF printout from that. And Patrick will go more into that when he gets to the technical aspect. So these are actually going to be a replacement of the digital thermometers that we gave to you guys in 2013 and 2014. So we're going to be pulling those out of your units and then using those as backup units, which is a new CDC requirement as well, to have a calibrated backup unit in the clinic. So the use of the data logger, we want you guys to use it the same way that you use your digital thermometers now, just to take an accurate reading at the beginning and the end of each workday and fill in your temperature logs as usual. So you're going to take the reading displayed on the data logger twice a day, beginning and the end of each workday. Even if you guys are only open a half day, make sure the AM and the PM sections of your temperature log are filled in. We also require a staff initial at the bottom and the exact time the reading was taken at the top. The report, the PDF report that you can generate from plugging the data logger into your computer, that's more for evaluating vaccine viability if there's a temperature excursion that takes place. So some of the support we're offering after the install, same way with your digital thermometers right now, you can contact Noel or I if you're having an issue. And our contact information is there, and I'm sure all of you guys have our numbers already. If not, you can call the main line at 586-8300. And then additional training and videos are available online, and Patrick will go more into that as well. You can just type it into YouTube, and there's a lot of videos on there as well. So any questions?
Please type your questions into the WebEx chat box at the bottom of your navigation bar. Thank you. Again, if you have any questions for Justin, please type them into the WebEx chat box. Okay, if we don't have any questions, Patrick, I'm going to pass the ball over to you.
Okay. Okay, so you can see my screen now. Aloha from Boston, Massachusetts, about as far away from Hawaii as I can be and still be in the U.S. And happy to have an opportunity to talk to you all about our FridgeTag product. Thank you, Justin, and everyone else who's worked to put this program together today. This is a picture of the FridgeTag here on the screen. And just a little background, I have personally been in the cold chain industry for 15 years. 5 years in the data side of collecting data for these types of purposes. And back in 2011, I was in the CDC subcommittee as a temperature expert or a technical expert on collecting data to help build some of those recommendations that they put out back in 2012 and 2013. We use their list of recommendations as a product development roadmap to make the fridge tag. So we really purposely built this for the application. We will be going over why the data loggers just for a quick second, talk about conditioning the probes and why that's so important when you get started, how to get started and turn the device on, how to use it, how to read the screen, how to address any alarms that may occur, and how to extract the report and read the report when you use it. Just my quick step back in the evolution of temperature monitoring for vaccines at the provider level. I've yet to meet someone in the business long enough to know when they started charting temperatures on the front of a refrigerator by reading a thermometer twice a day. But that improved the process, but it can only improve it so much. And now the CDC wants to work hard to try and improve the storage of vaccines, because when excursions occur and you don't have continuous data, you automatically lose a lot of inventory. So we're making this change because you know what the temperature is supposed to be, but if something happens, you cannot really taste, smell, or see a difference in the vaccines, but they will work differently. And as we have seen from the OIG report, almost $1 billion worth of vaccines have been lost annually. And if we can collect data, and I've been involved in many situations where the data has been able to save the inventory. But we're about to enter what we call the S-curve of change, moving from one process to another process. And continuous 24/7 data loggers will create more data, which creates a new process, a little bit of work, and also we may and typically do find a small percentage of refrigerators where the temperatures run too low or too high, and some adjustments have to be made. But in the long run, a better process will improve the performance, improve vaccine storage, and will improve the patient's life. So let me jump into the fridge tag here. I'm going to skip over this, but in our presentation, which is on our website and available through the Hawaii Department of Health, we list all the CDC recommendations and how the fridge tag matches up to what they say they need. The fridge tag is often chosen at states because it doesn't need any software. It's actually very easy to set up and maintain. It provides a very simple report, which is quick to comprehend. It has a useful screen that provides a 30-day snapshot of what's been happening in the refrigerator or freezer, and it will track your daily readings. It comes with a 2-year certificate of accuracy to help save money over the life of the project. So these are the steps we're going to go through, 6 quick steps to get the product going. The first and really one of the most important steps is when it arrives, it's room temperature, and your vaccines are either refrigerated or frozen. You want to condition the probe down to the refrigerator or freezer temperatures for 2 hours or so before you start the fridge tag. It's just somewhat common sense that taking something from 78 or 80 degrees down to 36 degrees will take a little bit of time before you start the data logger. And while you're waiting, we often recommend that you find a way to either tape the wire in place, because the probe should remain relatively permanent inside the refrigerator or freezer. One common practice we see is people hanging the probe off the wire rack and twist tying it in place, or putting it directly in the box or in the tray where the vaccines are being held. Close to the vaccine, in the center of the refrigerator and freezer. I don't think I need to tell this group all that. You're indoctrinated all the time on where to put the probe. The box comes with 4 quick steps and a label printed on the outside of the box. These are the steps. Condition the probe for 2 hours. I'll go through this in more detail. Turn the device on and set the date and time. Decide if you want it to read in Celsius or Fahrenheit, and then you're done. I'll go through that in much more detail here. So, when looking at the device, there are 2 buttons on the front, the set button and the read button. For every function that you're doing with the fridge tag, the read button shows information on screen, and it also allows you to scroll through options like when you're setting the time, going from 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. And the set button is used to commit something to memory or to accept it. So to start the device, you simply press both buttons simultaneously for about 4 seconds, and the date format will come on screen. Month, day, year. You press the set button on the left-hand side, and usually the device is already set on the right day that you're starting it. But you may have to adjust the month, the day, or the year by using the read button to scroll through your options and the set button to set it. And then below the date is the time. The time is in a 24-hour military clock, so 1300 hours is 1 p.m. It's important to think about that for a moment before you try to start the device so that you convert the time correctly and set the time correctly on your first. Again, you use the read button to scroll through your options and then hit set for each individual digit of the time. Once you finish that, the screen almost goes blank, but in the right-hand corner, you'll see the letter C blinking, meaning it's going to report temperatures in Celsius. If you use Celsius and are comfortable with that, just press set. If you want it to be in Fahrenheit, then you use the read button to scroll, and it will change from C to F, and then you press set. Once you do that, the device is running. You connect the sensor to the fridge tag, and you'll see the temperature in the bottom right-hand corner. So the screen is showing the current date, the current time, and the temperature, and there's a big check mark showing that things are okay. I'll go into a little bit more detail. It's important when you connect the sensor to press it in so that it clicks. Often people will just make a mistake and kind of, as we call it, fat finger the button, and instead of setting time for 1300 hours, they set it for 2300 hours, and now they want to go back and fix that. So I think it's important to just show you that it's actually fairly easy. There's only 2 buttons on the device, and you can use those 2 buttons to go back in and make a change to the date, the time, or the way the temperature is read, Celsius or Fahrenheit. It's pretty straightforward in my view. You press both buttons very quickly and release, and the screen will say outside. You then press the read button, and it will scroll to say set date. That's what you want to do, so you press the set button to commit to setting the date. It shows you the format again. US format is month, day, year. You press set to keep that, and then it goes back through those screens of the month, the day, and the year. Obviously, you use the read button again to scroll through the numbers, and the set button to commit it to memory. Okay? So that's how to start it and set it. And if you make a mistake, how to go back in and correct it. I'm going to talk about reading the screen. So this is the screen. Everything's perfect, no alarms. Temperatures are running perfectly fine. You will use the read button in order to check temperatures twice a day. As Justin mentioned, you're going to continue using your manual process on top of the fridge tag report as you phase this in. So in order to get the current temperature, it's showing on screen, but we recommend that you press the read button 2 times. The first time you press it, an up arrow will blink under the word today, and it'll show you the high temperature today. The second time you press it, a down arrow will blink under the word today, and the lowest temperature of the day will show on screen. When you finish that sequence, the software inside this yellow fridge tag then records that you've checked the temperature, and I'll show you how when we get to the report. In fact, here it is. There's a little events column, and it records AM when you check in the morning and PM when you check in the afternoon. And if you don't check it or forget to check it in the morning, or it's your day off, it will be blank. So let's look a little bit more closely about this screen and when there are alarms. There are 2 indicators for alarms, 3 indicators actually. We have the X, we have this exclamation point, and we have a down arrow or an up arrow. So if you were to come in the morning or sometime during the day and see the big X on screen, maybe you can see it from 10 feet away. You should get a little closer. See, is it a low or a high alarm? The down arrow meaning low and the up arrow meaning warm. And I want to explain this, the top bar. So we have a giant X for the alarm. We can see these yellow and black piano keys across the top. On the very right, it says today and then yesterday, then minus 2D, minus 10D, all the way out to minus 29D. That is showing you what has happened over the past 29 days. And on this particular unit, we had 2 alarms, 1 low temperature today and 1 low temperature 9 days ago. All of the other days are okay. So if you're in a supervisory role, it's a quick and easy way to see what's been happening with the refrigerator or freezer without having to dig through reports. So what do you do when you have an alarm? You want to press the read button 4 times in order to see what has happened and to clear the X off the screen. When in this particular scenario, we have a low temperature alarm. So when I press the read button the first time, hang on, let me get to that. So when I press it the first time, the up arrow is blinking and it shows me that what the high temperature was today, 5.6 degrees Celsius is a perfect temperature. It's okay with a check mark. When I press it the second time where we have the alarm, we know it was a low temp alarm, it shows the date and the actual time that the alarm occurred. And the third press will show the duration of the alarm, 3 hours and 47 minutes, and what was the lowest temperature during that alarm period, which was negative 0.5 degrees. The fourth time will clear the X. So it is not an audible alarm, it is a visual alarm going from a check to an X. Yes, you can clear that X, but it's important, and I know that our VFC folks on the line would want me to say, it's also important to address the problem. If the temperatures are too low or too warm, what do you need to do to your equipment in order to correct the problem? Because if the problem doesn't go away, and even on the same day, the temperatures are too low or too warm again, it will go back to an X. So you will have to address it. So we've addressed how to start it, how to read the screen if there's an alarm and what to do. Now let's look at the report, and one of the reasons why I think the state of Hawaii moved towards the fridge tag, it's very simple. You plug it into any computer's USB port, and the screen will open up. Do you want to open this file? You click on the open file. If that doesn't show up, you just go to your start thing and go to the external drive and open up the fridge tag drive, and you will see the PDF report. Click on the PDF report. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit of an eye chart for a presentation like this, so I'm going to zoom in on a couple of sections to show you what the information is. hang on. Actually, apologize. I opened up the wrong stage on this, so let me just grab the other one here and do the zoom in. Okay. I can zoom into the top left, and here it shows the serial number of the device, the date it was activated, and the date and time the report was written, as well as the alarm settings for the device. The alarm settings, by the way, cannot be changed by you, the provider. On the left side, it's showing the date. It's showing the AM, PM in the events column where you've checked temperatures twice a day. In the middle of the report, it shows your low alarm limits and your upper alarm limits. What were the lowest temperatures today and what were the highest temperatures today? And is it okay? Down here on the left, we can see there's an alarm. Temperature was below 2. It was 1.7. It happened at 18:30 or 6:30 in the evening, and the duration was 1 hour and 15 minutes. The device, the yellow fridge tag, which is on the outside of the refrigerator, also wakes up and takes one reading of your room temperature to try and help you root cause a problem. If temperatures are too low or too high, is it really cold or really warm in the room, affecting the performance of the refrigerator or freezer? On the very right-hand side of the report is the external sensor error. So if it's disconnected from the sensor while you're running the report, the fridge tag counts the time it's disconnected. If it is disconnected for more than 10 minutes, it will generate an alarm. It'll tell you exactly what time that happened and what the duration is, and you can clear the alarm by using the read button, just like we talked about for temperature alarms. It's important that we track the time away from the sensor. A number of competitive devices on the market actually give a false temperature reading when that happens, and it becomes hard to manage the report. Also, on the report, you'll notice there's a signature and a notes section. So when you print the report, if there was an issue or something going on, you can keep your notes directly on the report. Here's an overview of the report again. And I need to show you our resources. So the report can be printed, emailed, or filed. Whenever you connect the fridge tag to your computer and generate the PDF report, it creates an automated file name, which is the day, time, the day, month, year, and time of the report being created, as well as the serial number. So if you just store each one of those, they will be listed in date and time order. A little bit of a benefit there. There's user manual online. I recommend maybe you write down this website. Every fridge tag has a label on the back instructing you with this website how to get to our how-to videos. We have how-to videos on how to start the device, how to connect it to the refrigerator and install it, everything that I have just gone over in this presentation, how to read the screen, how to print the report, how to read the report, and even how to change the date or the time or the temperature reading. We have those how-to videos directly online. Also, the PowerPoint that I've just gone through here is on our website. And of course, our helpline via email or a telephone call to our customer service experts. We'll be happy to help you with whatever your challenge is. That's the end. It's as simple as that. And I actually open up the board for questions, and as I said, type them into the chat area, and I'll address your questions.
Patrick, thank you so much for that presentation. I don't see any questions yet in the chat box. Please, everyone feel free to ask Patrick any questions that you might have regarding his presentation.
One question that often comes up, every fridge tag comes with Velcro strips in the box. You attach the Velcro to the fridge tag and then attach it to your refrigerator so that you can put it back on the same place where you take it off.
Okay, here's a question that came in, and this one is for Justin. How often do we have to send the PDF file to the immunization branch? Do we still send the twice daily temperature log?
Thank you. Yes, that's a good question. I've gotten that question a few times by providers who wanted to use the PDF printout instead of the temperature log. But unfortunately, the PDF printout doesn't have all the necessary CDC requirements that our temp log has. So you still have to use the regular temperature log and then only submit to us the PDF report if there's an excursion that we need to investigate.
Justin and Patrick, your presentations were very, very clear because there doesn't seem to be any other questions coming into the chat box.
Well, that's good. I'll add one more piece of information. The screen itself holds 30 days of information, as I showed, but the PDF report is actually a 60-day report, a rolling 60 days. You'd never have to reset the device. You don't have to stop it and restart it. You just plug it in and get the report and then plug it back into the sensor. So there will be 60 days of information in that PDF report. It's a 2-page report, 30 days on page 1 and 30 days on page 2.
Yeah, and if you have any questions regarding the data logging just call our program.
Okay, at this point, if we don't have any other questions, and Patrick and Justin, if you don't have anything else to add, I'm going to conclude the question and answer session, which will also conclude today's presentations. Thank you both, Justin and Patrick, for providing us with this helpful information today. And I wanted to let everyone know that an email with a link to the evaluation survey for today's webinar will be sent to you. Please take the time to complete this survey, as your feedback assists us in developing future Ask the Local Expert sessions, as well as other educational opportunities. Oh, here's a question that just came in. Does the device run on battery or run out of battery?
Yes, the device runs on battery, and the battery is rated to last for almost 3 years, so it should not run out of power.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, I'll do one final call for questions. Please type in questions into the chat box and send to everyone. I will also post an updated version of Patrick's slides on the DOH Immunization Branch website along with this recording.
Can you send me a link to that posting when you put it up, please?
Absolutely. Another question that just came in, I'm not sure if this is a private question or to everyone. Again, please, if you have a question that you want me to read, please send it to everyone. But I will read this just in case it was meant for everyone. The question is, what do we do after the 2 or 3 years?
I think I can answer that one. I can answer that one, Danielle.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, usually we roll out new thermometers or data loggers to everybody every 2 years. So by the time that the battery's dead on these. We should have given you guys new ones by then.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, I'm going to conclude the question and answer session. If you think of any other question that you'd like to ask, please contact Justin or Noel. And if the question is for Patrick, they can contact him and get the answer for you. Oh, I'm going to take one last question before we conclude. This data logger won't alarm with a noise. Is that correct? Just an X. Patrick, is that the case?
Yes, that is correct. It is just a visual alarm.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, with that, I'm going to conclude this session. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and thank you very much, Justin and Patrick, for your presentations today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.